Welcome into today's edition of Cronkite Sports Now. It's Giving Tuesday, and we have plenty to give on today's show. Today on Cronkite Sports Now, the first Arizona High School Open Division Football Championship featuring two powerhouse teams, the future of triathlon in the NCAA, and the Suns back on track heading into December. These stories and more coming your way on Cronkite Sports Now. It's only Tuesday, but we've got a loaded show for you today. I'm Anthony Totri, and I'll be getting you through this roller coaster that is Arizona sports. With Major League Baseball's non-tender deadline passing last night, the Diamondbacks parted ways with some familiar faces. The club did not tender the contracts of outfielder Steven Souza Jr., pitcher Taijuan Walker, and catcher Caleb Joseph, meaning all three are immediately free agents. Walker and Souza were both very limited due to injury the past few years with the team, and Joseph was acquired for catcher depth last year. The Diamondbacks aren't the only team in the Valley making some changes this December. ASU Football is wasting no time in replacing the coaches let go after the end of the regular season. The Sun Devils added former Oregon offensive analyst Prentice Gill to the staff, with his role still to be determined. And while it may feel like it in the front office, the season isn't over. With a giant win over a top-tier Oregon team, then a territorial cup victory that keeps the cup in Tempe, suddenly Sun Devil football is turning heads yet again, just in time for a bowl game.
I think they start realizing, what's going on here, and the only person who can do something about it is us, and we got to stop beating Sun Devils. Because we were playing against ourselves for about a month, and we were doing a good job of beating ourselves too.
On top of a bowl game destination, which is still to be decided, there's a lot of news floating around Sun Devil football and the coaching staff. Bruce Feldman of The Athletic has reported former Cleveland Browns head coach Hugh Jackson is a serious candidate for the Sun Devil offensive coordinator position. With Sun Devil football shifting gears to bowl season, we're sure to see ASU football recruiting this Saturday during Arizona's High School Football Open Division Championship at Sun Devil Stadium. The Saguaro SaberCats and Chandler Wolves will go head-to-head at Sun Devil Stadium in a meeting that's been anticipated all season long. The 11-1 SaberCats knocked off Horizon and Hamilton to carve out their spot in the championship game, and the undefeated Wolves ran over Chaparral and South Point Catholic on their journey to another championship run. Saturday will mark the first Open Division Championship, and it's sure to be a good one with both teams playing for more than just a trophy, but a place in Arizona high school football history. Here we are talking about two of the best high school football teams in the state, with one loss between the two of them. Now it's time to talk about the Cardinals. With just a couple more losses, 8 total actually, but who's counting? Coming off a blowout loss to the Los Angeles Rams, Coach Cliff Kingsbury is looking to find some answer to get this Cards team back in the win column.
Yeah, you just work harder. I mean, that's it. You get back, be honest with yourself and the tape, and then you work harder the next week and trying to get better. It's a challenging league, and we knew that team would come in and we'd get their best shot. And said it after the game, I didn't think we responded with the passion, intensity, effort, all those things that we've kind of become known for. They didn't show up, and that's what happens.
The sport of triathlon is currently known as an emerging sport, and USA Triathlon is in the process of trying to get the program to become a permanent NCAA sport. Cronkite News reporter Madison Carter has the story on what actions are being taken within USA Triathlon and here at Arizona State University to get it to that permanent status.
Arizona State recently won its 4th consecutive Triathlon National Championship in its 4th year competing in the sport. A national championship is what every and any team's goal is, but for ASU Triathlon, it's much deeper than raising a trophy. It's about triathlon's future as a permanent NCAA sport.
We really feel, being, one of the larger schools, it's sort of our duty, our responsibility to help promote the sport.
In 2015, the USA Triathlon Foundation awarded Arizona State and 7 other schools with the inaugural Women's Triathlon Emerging Sport Grant. It provided nearly $500,000 across 8 programs to get the wheels turning for triathlon at the collegiate level and put Arizona State at the center of trying to establish triathlon as a permanent NCAA sport.
That's been anything from going to conferences to present to getting on the phone with the school. We've actually have had schools come and visit us for half a day, showing them how we have everything set up, like showing them the facilities.
For triathlon to earn a long-term slot with the NCAA, the sport needs at least 40 D1 and D2 level schools to participate. That count currently sits at 34 programs according to USA Triathlon, who is actively recruiting athletes and schools to jump into the triathlon waters with them.
We're also reaching out to athletes, triathletes, single sport athletes in swim, bike, run, and other sports to say, hey, have you thought about maybe NCAA for you in a sport that has not been around that long at the collegiate level?
Triathlon currently sits 6 programs from the finish line. Yount says once they reach the 36 to 37 mark, the process will move even faster.
We believe, we are hopeful anyway, that come next year, this time, we will be at 40, and the process for getting NCAA to move it to the next stage will have started.
Once we make that mark, it just validates everything that we know, okay, we're here, we arrived, we're on the path, so it's really exciting.
Madison joins us now for a little bit of a deeper look at the story. Madison, a really well done story here, but what's the next step in making triathlon a permanent NCAA sport?
Yeah, so the next step for this sport is the NCAA is going to be more engaged as they will be managing and controlling the national championships, as well as helping with the rules and the standards for the sport.
Definitely. Thank you. And you can catch a longer version of the story in a couple weeks on Cronkite Sports Report, airing on Fox Sports Arizona. A very permanent ASU men's basketball team plays in San Francisco against the Dons tonight. And while Coach Bobby Hurley isn't looking past the 7-2 Dons, he is excited for the team to return home and get 6 straight games at Desert Financial Arena starting on Saturday.
I mean, I think we deserve to come home after this. Again, it's been a lot, but it's yeah, it's going to be nice to have several weeks to take another step as a team. I think we're still. You know, we still have a really good chance to get better, and now we'll have more time at home, more practice time. Because we had Romello and Cherry out and we had Verge out, we've had a lot of guys. We haven't been able to just get the whole thing together.
I mean, you can't blame Hurley. Getting back to Tempe in front of Sun Devil Nation and allowing the team to build some chemistry on their home court could prove to be valuable as the long college basketball season continues. With one Valley basketball team awaiting tip-off tonight, the Phoenix Suns are exhaling after a 5-point victory last night. The Suns beat the Charlotte Hornets 109-104 behind a pair of 23-point outings from Devin Booker and Kelly Oubre Jr. It's the team's first win in the last 3 games after losses to the Nuggets, Wizards, and Mavericks. The Suns are back on the hardwood tomorrow night against the Orlando Magic. The Suns aren't the only Arizona sports team looking to get back on track after a hot start. The Arizona Coyotes are on the ice tonight to take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Yotes are 1-3 in their last 4 games, and that one win came against the Anaheim Ducks in a shootout. And tonight, capturing points is what matters most.
I think we've done a great job so far this year, and I mean, last 2 games, I think a few things we have to clean up, but you know, it's a big road trip for us, and we're going to need these points, especially coming out east. These are we don't play these guys a lot, so we got to get points when we can.
A win tonight against the Blue Jackets would go a long way in the Coyotes' pursuit of first place in the Pacific Division as they sit 3 points behind the Edmonton Oilers. That's a wrap on this Tuesday edition of Cronkite Sports Now. For Arizona sports stories from around the Valley, visit the Cronkite Sports tab on arizonasports.com. And as always, for top Arizona news stories, head over to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org and be sure to tune in tonight at 5 p.m. on Arizona PBS for our nightly newscast. On behalf of the entire Cronkite Sports Now crew, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place.